Hello, welcome back to your English class. I'm Mark, and I'm here with my son Kenny. He's working the camera. Kenny, can you say hello?
Hello.
Did you hear him? All right. We're here to just do a brief little low-stakes intro on rhetorical analysis, which we might otherwise subtitle 10 Minutes How to Get Rich. All right? Now, can you tell us what this word means?
Persuasion.
The art of persuasion, right? Now, the famous Greek philosopher Aristotle told us that there were two reasons to study the art of persuasion. What were they?
To persuade other people.
Okay, so if you're good at rhetorical analysis, that means that you can make strong arguments that are evidence-based, that will convince your audience to think the way that you do, convince them to do things, convince them to maybe give you money in this case, right? So there's all kinds of ways that you could use language powerfully in order to move people, even if it's just to get them to agree with you. Or in your case, maybe in your future classes, to write excellent college papers that show how smart you are. Is that the only reason?
No.
Why else might you study the art of persuasion?
To not get persuaded by those deemed unethical.
You sound real smart there. No, those deemed unethical. How would you feel like to be my son? That must be horrible, huh? All right, you study the art of persuasion so you're not fooled by other people who are employing strong rhetoric upon you, okay? So no one takes your money or gets you to do things that you don't want to do, or locks you into a loan payment that you can't afford to make, or whatever the case may be. All right? Now, again, this is just quick and dirty and a fast intro to a complex field of rhetorical analysis, but Aristotle told us that there were three types of appeals that people used to get their way. What were they, Kenny?
Logos, pathos, and ethos.
Okay. Can you tell me what those are?
Logos is factual.
So yeah, I have the facts and reason on my side. That's called the logos appeal.
Pathos is like emotional.
All right. Oh, please give me a raise because my wife is sick and we have a leak in the roof. Right? Is that a real reason to get a raise? Well, it depends on the audience, but that's my emotional appeal.
Ethos is credibility and authority
Of
the one speaking.
Of the one speaking. All right. Credibility means
You don't lie.
I'm not a liar, right? Authority means what?
You're in the right field.
I'm an expert in the field, right? Now, when you write your college papers, this is what your works cited list comes down to. A good professor will turn to the very last page of your paper and check out what sources you're using to see if you have made yourself an authority. Do you know what you're talking about when you're writing this argument? All right, and we have a triangle here because sometimes we're using the facts to scare people, so the appeal will fall in the middle someplace. We're using our ethos to create an emotional appeal. That might fall in there. And all this is happening in some kind of context, a cultural context, a historical context. There are other things going on where the argument is being made. Now, we are going to do at home a little bit of a practice of a low-stakes rhetorical analysis on an argument that was written by my all-time favorite author. And this has been sent to you. It's either been emailed or it's up on Laulima. And this is a letter that I wrote to a judge making a particular argument for something that I wanted. Okay, that's who the writer was. Now, all I want you to do at home is read through the argument and see if you can identify some places where I'm showing that I have authority, where I'm showing that I'm credible and believable and I'm a good, upstanding, ethical citizen. Show some places where I'm making an emotional appeal or where I'm trying to make a connection with my audience, who's the judge. Where am I using the facts? How are all these things being deployed to get my audience to be convinced of what I'm asking for in this particular argument? Now, for this to work, we need you to pause the video and go ahead and give that a try, even if it takes a few minutes to find where that letter is that was sent to you. Take some time to write all over it, take some time to write notes on the side, and we'll be here waiting for you. Okay, welcome back. Now, let's just take a look at what's happening in this letter. First of all, we have certain ethos appeals. Kenny, in what ways is the author of this particular argument trying to demonstrate that he has authority and credibility? What do you?
There's the University of Hawaii seal.
Right here, it looks, wow, that looks important. I better listen to this guy. What else?
The PhD.
Look at him, it's Dr. Panic. I better listen to him. He is, remember who the audience is. Who's the audience?
The judge.
The judge. Okay, so the author of this letter is a professional with multiple degrees, just like the judge, right?
Oh, and he says that he did not put his seatbelt on right away, which makes him show that he's not lying, I guess.
He's being reasonable, right? What do you think all the other letters say that the judge had to read?
I had my seatbelt on.
What do you think the letter said that was in my head that I really wanted to write?
This is BS.
This is crazy. I don't want a ticket, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in any that ethos is not going to work. The ethos that this author is creating with respect for the law, you know, and I applaud the way the law is trying to protect me and so forth. Along with the tone, you can see a little bit of ethos in there as well. We're trying to create this reasonable portrait that separates ourselves from all the other people who are arguing for the same thing, which is not to have to pay the ticket, right? Now, do you see any logos appeals? Well, we'll do that one last. Do you see any pathos appeals in here, Kenny?
Yeah, you're sympathizing for the judge with a big stack of the citations.
Look at that, you poor judge. Oh, you know, and I can't do this if I'm not recognizing who my audience is and what his concerns and values are, right? This poor guy has all this work to do. All right, and here's where it becomes more of a combined appeal of the logos and ethos, right? Just like me, I'm a college professor, I'm a busy guy, I know that you are too, okay? It's a lot easier to be persuasive to put your arm around somebody and look together into the same direction than to be wagging your finger and trying to be right. Okay, so that's going on all the way throughout this, including these appeals to the law. How do you think I feel, by the way, Kenny, about the seatbelt law?
It's dumb.
Okay, 2 days before I got this ticket, somebody stole 2 bikes out of my garage. Did I ever tell you that?
No.
And I'm thinking, why are the cops sitting down by the bank when people are out there on my stolen bike? You know, they should be doing their real job, catching criminals. That creates the wrong ethos. I want to show that I have respect for the law, and just like the judge does, right? Now, what logos appeals do you see?
Well, you have a very policeman-like report tone.
On the morning of 5/26, I stopped at the First Hawaiian on why, right, on why knew I knew it. That whole thing is written like, just the facts, ma'am, right? Just the facts. So those are the facts, right? What's interesting to you about the facts?
That they're true.
And what is the author of this argument admitting?
That he actually did break the law.
Oh, I broke the law. Now, why do you think the author did that?
So that way it showed that he's not like everybody else who said that they did have their seatbelt on when they didn't.
He's almost giving up all of the logos argument in order to make a super strong ethos that separates him from all the other people making the same argument. I'm going to be reasonable about this. Look, I made a mistake. And he just asked for leniency in the end, right? Another pathos appeal. How long do you think this took to write?
10 minutes?
10 minutes. The fine at the time was $92. I think the fine is like 110 or 120 bucks, okay? The fine was suspended. That's pretty good work for 10 minutes. Is that good pay for that?
92.
So if you are a student of rhetorical analysis, in fact, other classes have, other versions of this class have gotten grants up in the millions of dollars for the Hawaii County Fire Department. Other students who have taken this class have gotten scholarships for $8,000, $5,000 just by being smart about learning about the art of persuasion, okay? So this is something, if you can't do it right away, Just practice with it. That's why you're in the class. It's going to get easier as we go, and soon you're going to be recognizing, look, there's an ethos appeal, there's a pathos appeal. This is why it's working with that audience, but it might not work with that audience. That's the muscle that we're going to be strengthening for the rest of the semester, and you're going to be amazed at what you can see, and above all, how much easier your own writing becomes by the end of the semester, because it's far easier to write when you know exactly what you want to say, and this helps you do that. All right, we'll see you later.